Welcome back to our final segment of Rochester in Focus. And if you know me, you know I love highlighting local talent and local connections, and this has a lot of both. Here's a locally produced children's book. It's called RITchie Finds His Stripes, a story about the mascot for the Rochester Institute of Technology. It's a tiger, yeah, and it was written by an RIT guest lecturer and his two daughters, Amelia and Mackenzie. And it was also illustrated by an RIT grad, and so there are lots of connections, and Rick Mislan is here. His kids couldn't make it today, but he's got his PhD, he's that visiting lecturer in the Saunders College of Business, a cybersecurity expert, and now a children's author. But you know, it was in 1989, he was a third-year student, and he entered a contest to name the RIT mascot. So you pick up the story from there, okay?
Sure. So there was a billboard outside of the college activities board that said, you know, name our new mascot. And so I wrote my name, kind of, Rick, Richard,
Right.
RITchie, and included the RIT in it, of course,
yes.
and learned I won the $50 prize money, which allowed me to run upstairs to the Campus Connections bookstore and buy the original college hockey jersey. This is it.
This is the one you bought in 1989
That's right.
with your winnings. Isn't that great?
Still fits, too, right?
Yeah. Okay, fast forward to 2012, and if anyone's ever been on the RIT campus, you've probably seen that tiger statue. So how did passing by that statue play into your story?
Sure, I was visiting. We were invited to consider coming back to RIT. I was at Purdue University, and my daughters were on campus for the first time, and we decided RITchie needs a book. And we had been inspired by other universities. Their mascots, Purdue Pete finds his hammer is one of them. And so we decided to do that. And through the next few years, there was some separation because of my father-in-law's illness. He was terminal at the time, so my kids stayed in Michigan with him and my wife, and I moved to RIT to begin my first year.
But you could still write
and
together,
through the magic of the internet and all
Yeah.
of its wonderful tools, we wrote together and produced this book.
I think it's great. Well, you had help writing the book with your daughters.
That's right.
You also had help with the illustration, because what children's book is even going to be picked up by a kid unless there's great pictures?
Right.
So tell us how you connected with your students.
Sure. So we had my first year, I had students in classes that I've reached out to, and I said, I'm looking for an artist. I'm looking for somebody to help me with the NTID perspective. I'm looking for somebody to help me with what's popular in this part of campus and what have you. And so one led to another, and eventually we found Rachel Bentley, who worked at the Barnes & Noble, who knew the idea of RITchie and what it was all about, and actually has done some beautiful work, and we're really excited about.
Yeah, we wanted to highlight her skills too, but we didn't really want to tell you too much of the story because we want you to buy the book. But you did an early printing, kind of a limited printing.
We're doing
Where do things stand?
Sure. So 100 copies, limited edition, signed, numbered, and I think we've sold 80 thus far. We've been doing it for 3 weeks now, and just flying off the shelves, as they say. We will be doing more after that, obviously, but we wanted to kind of kickstart this, get it out there, and let everybody know.
Well, I know that RIT grads would really be gravitating, but what has it done for you and your daughters? We have a picture of them. It's such a great little family picture, because they're kind of into this e-commerce thing with you now, because you can buy it online, and there they are selling and becoming businesswomen as well as authors.
Sure, we've been invited to a couple events. We've been invited also to come to Barnes & Noble and the Policini Center now to kind of do either a book reading, book signings, things like that, and they're kind of excited about it. It's given them an opportunity to see what RIT has to offer before they even get there, if you will, and hopefully they go there, right?
I always ask about this. What age group, I mean, anybody can listen to a story.
Right, and we're actually looking at it as a story that's really, 3 and up. We've heard that alumni may be passing it out to parents of 3-year-olds as future tigers.
There you go.
We're excited by that as well.
Well, you've done a wonderful job of promoting RIT,
Thanks.
and we wish you well with your lecturing in the Saunders School. So if you're interested in getting the book or just want to check out RITchie Finds His Stripes, there's a website. I've linked it up at WATC.com under web links, and I want to thank Rick, for coming in and sharing the story of RITchie and your own birth as a child's author and sticking your name in there. I thought that was great. You know, what if your name had been, you know,
Right.
Bob?
Wouldn't have worked.
But it's also for being a fun dad and a great community member for us here in
Thank
the
you.
Rochester
Thank you
area.
for having us.
All right, thanks, Rick. All right, I'd also like to extend a big thank you to all of our guests today. If you would like to be a guest on Rochester in Focus, we'd love to hear from you. You can contact News 10 NBC at 232-1010, or you just email us, news10@whec.com. And so that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for joining us. Stay warm out there. Have a great week.